Hey guys, thought I'd do a video one today. Haven't done much over the last couple of days. Just in flat chat getting our Art for Africa program, which I'll talk a little bit just about at the end anyway, just to give you a bit of an idea what's going on there. I think it's a really exciting project, not only for artists, but for you guys as well, being on the ground floor. And there's some special things going on for you. And we still have our program running for ZooCoins. Unfortunately, there's been a delay in ZooCoins launch till May at the moment, but everyone is still in the running to win some, and there's quite a bit up for grabs, and there's $1 million worth being released to the public. And being a shareholder of, well, it will be now 1,200 coins, uh, and they're launching at a staggering $100 a coin. Um, we are we are poised for something pretty special anyway. So well, I'm just going to get straight into it. BTC. So it's all looking green, which is sensational. So what's happened that's made it green? Obviously, we've got the horrible situations going on in Ukraine at the moment. Um, yeah, with what's going on board there, and obviously it looks like that the Ukraine is going to fall to Russia. Um, the one thing that has stopped the market from going is that if NATO itself had have got uh, gone into it, battles no doubt the markets would have collapsed. Now, I don't want to get political or anything about it, and I'm not going to. I really don't even know what the right thing to do is at the moment. So we're just going to really leave it, and hopefully when it's all done, some cool heads will prevail, and we can get people back to the negotiating tables. But moving back onto the economy side, things are looking really good. So it's obviously battling at the moment. BTC just to crack that at 40K, and it had a sneak little peek at it just at the top of the. We zoom in, just give you a little bit of an explanation of what we're looking at. Obviously, that's a very, well, it's called basically the hanging man, it's called. But you can see the long stem. That means that that's the top that somebody's offered to buy the token at some stage, which is up over 40,000. So it's a real psychological barrier, this 40,000, which is just struggling to break at the moment. But compared to where we come, as I said, where we zoom out, and it's been a nice ride up. And whatever I say to people is, when in doubt, zoom out. And like we're on a 1 minute thing, but let's go out to the dailies. Let's go to actually to the we'll go to 15 minutes. We'll go out gradually. You can see how this is changing. I'm just going to use BTC first, and I'm going to XRP after that as well. But we'll go back to the beginning here. So as you can see, we've got some key markers here. On the pink, we've got our so we're on 15-minute periods. So this is 5 15-minute periods on the pink. On the red, we've got the 50 periods. So it's 50 15-minute periods. And on the purple, we've got 15 minute periods. And then over here, we've got the 100 and the 200. So you can see they're all sort of crossed around here. And you can see that's why that's sort of jumping up there. And then the 200s a really good gauge of whether we're in a little bit more of a bullish market. And then also you can see here where we've tackled some of the high points. Now, as I said, this point here, as they call it, it's called the RSI. I've talked about this before. It's a relative strength index. It means basically the purchasing of it. And you can see here, obviously, you have massive volume back here, and this is around February 25th, so only yesterday, depending where you are in the world. So this is obviously Brisbane time, which is GMT plus 10. And you can see again, we're up very high here. So as long as we're above this 50 mark here, that's a really good buying zone. Means things are going good. So overall, BTC is looking very, very good. But let's zoom back out again. So we're going to go back to going to actually go to the 4-hour marker. And depending on how you're trading, this is where you're sort of, whether you're looking short term, long term, scalping, or whatever. So on the 4-minute marker, if we zoom in here, I'll try not to drag you around a bit. It just sort of loves doing these funny things. And we'll just reset the price scale. All right, so you can see here where what we've got here is we've got, first of all, we've got this big turn here. So we've hit the bottom here on the RSI. So this is called what we basically call, it's underbought. It's just dropped under the 30 mark. These lines are 30 and the 70. They're key criticals. And anything above the 50 is in the buy zone. So when we're coming up here, so you can see we're hitting that 50 mark. And you can see it's just gone. Now it's crossed to 15. 4-hour periods we crossed. So it's another boost. Now it's hit to 50, another boost. And you see the 200's actually under there. and the 100. So when we hit this one, there's going to be another boost, and then there's going to be another boost again. But again, we need to really understand it for longer term trading. We need to zoom right out to the 1 day, and this is where we start to see some action happening. As you can see, we are just slightly on the RSI under 50, and that's really going to show us some real growth if it can push that 50 mark. And also you can see when this pink line here, which is 5 days, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the average of the 5 days, hits this one, which is the 15-day, and that's the 50-day, and then we've got the 100-day. They're all really good markers. So if it continues with this, which it looks like it's going to do at the moment, barring world events obviously, which could change at the blink of an eye, as we know, there's a really positive trend. It's positive on the RSI. The volume levels are really good. Some massive buying out of the Ukraine. Recently, we have had FTX give away $25 to every person in Ukraine. And given that their weekly salary is about $130 US, if you compare that to somewhere like Australia or the US, which is talking about $1,100, $1,200, yeah, that's pretty big money. We're talking sort of 10 times. It's like giving, I suppose, someone in Australia or the US $250. It's a good little bit amount of money. It's definitely if you're going to slap it on the stock market, which they know, the crypto market, because they know they're going to do that because it's easier to do that than to transfer it out. So you can almost bet all of that got pumped back into probably BTC at the moment, and I think we are going to see a BTC driven recovery at the moment. But I will show you the other one that I'm really excited about at the moment, some big news as well. But so you see, so once this hits here, so we're looking over the next, I would say, if it continues this path, we're probably looking in maybe 2 days. It's starting to cross, depending on how quickly it rises. But I think if BTC can crack this 40 grand mark, psychologically we will kick on. But again, if NATO decides to step into Ukraine, then a different story. What we need to be following, and I'm sorry, I should have had this up before, but I'll just bring it up now, is the S&P 500. If you look at the day, great growth on the S&P 500. This is really all we can gauge ourselves by what's happening at the moment. That's really the only barometer we have on war, because really crypto is so young, we don't have anything to compare it to. And it seems to be going, the S&P was down here, up, and things like the ASX and the NASDAQ and all those other major trading stations around the world have all been positive. Interestingly enough, gold's been down, and to give you an example of that, if we go to PAXG, which is a gold-backed coin, and see majority of the trading's going through USD on a day, we had massive spikes. You can see, look, that just up there. So we've had some great growth when things were getting a bit scary back here. Things are warming up with Putin starting to build up troops, and you see it had a growth. But then once it appears that NATO aren't actually going to come in, it's going down, and I can't see gold. I see gold coming back down there. Having said that, again, if NATO move in, there's a really good chance that will skip back up again. So just keep that on your radar. So PAXG is one, and Algo is another one that's backed by gold as well. ALG, sorry. Depending on which, I think on this one it's only on futures. There we go, Algo, Perp, and you see almost identical, same, one of the few ones that are down at the moment. But overall, so the daily change is still up. It's still going nicely. So it's not performing as bad as what as gold is. So just heading back to XRP, and this is one show you some great news coming out of the courts today with XRP. Well, we've had obviously the releasing of documents saying that that XRP received advice that the XRP token was not a security from back in 2012. For those of you following, for those of you not, get a check out this, because this token is likely to explode if they win the case. And at the moment they are winning every way, and just the actual business model behind it with Ripple. And if you look at its current competitor, which is Swift, Swift has a massive market share at the moment, but Ripple's gaining because of its technologies and its speed of transactions. And just to give you an example, without boring the crap out of you, I'm sorry if you have to do your own research a bit more, but Ripple's able to do 1,500 transactions per second. If you look at something like Bitcoin, it would take it 10 minutes to do the equivalent amount of transactions. That's how exciting XRP is. Still very underrated, and I think a lot of people are just sitting back and waiting to see what happens. But having said that, massive growth. So if you're lucky enough to get in back in the 55s, where we got down to here, pick up even if you're around 59s, you get some and held along here, or even if you took some profits up here and then brought back in down here, it's been a really good one for generating daily profits, and particularly if you're running in the scalping market. See at the moment, it's just taking a little bit of dive down to 77. But, and again, just to show you why that did that, you can see these three crossed here all at the same time on the downward spiral. So it went down. And you see right down here, we bottomed out. This is a great time to take a trade on perpetuals. So if we're looking at our futures again, XRP, there we go. And so we would take a future trade. We'd be watching this very, very carefully here. And what we want is this purple line. When the purple line and the pink line cross, generally what we see is a growth from there. And you can see if we go back and just find an example for you, and I'll zoom into here, a really good example of what we're looking for is right there. We've got a cross right there, and then what you are is looking for the bar straight afterwards. If it's a green bar, then we're heading that way. If it's a red bar, don't take the trade. And you're also generally looking for an RSI down here. In this case, it's just kicked. It's just been one of those freak ones. But what we're looking at is we want to be buying in at this marker and then selling out at this marker. And that's going to get you the growth. So you can see how they run. The ones that are more likely to give you, like right now, as I said, overall, I'll get back to where we were. We're right down the bottom here. You would expect now to see this start to round off in time. But it might stay flat now for another 10 minutes or just go gently down like this. So you wouldn't be taking a trade yet. You'd be waiting for this purple line to catch up. And as soon as that crosses with that green on the other side, great time to take a trade. And you would hopefully see it come back. So anyway, that's a bit of what's going on today in the markets. At the moment, it's looking pretty good. We're having a bit of a fall at XRP as I'm talking to you, but yeah, it looks worse than it is, because just go like that, it doesn't look so bad. So depending on how big your grids are, if you look at there to there, we're only talking less than a cent, so it's not a huge drop. And then obviously when this is taken, depending on what the close of trade that they talk at. So anyway, I hope that's helped a bit, give you a bit of an idea, and I hope you enjoy it. And any question, you put it through if you'd like. I am available to private lessons and stuff like that, which obviously we go into a lot more detail. And just or group lessons if you want to get a few people together just to cut down on costs. All right, take care, guys. Have a great day and stay safe. And just a little prayer for obviously Ukraine at the moment.